just want to preface this video by saying this isn't going to be the type of content that I will normally get into. It's not like I'm against talking about these things, it's just that I like to keep things lighthearted and relatable like I normally do. But for a circumstance like this, I really hope that this will be something that you won't relate to. But if something terrible ever happens in your life, you're not alone in this. Unfortunately, I cannot give too much information about this publicly, mainly because I like to keep all the details private. It's only best that I discuss the important stuff. And also because I don't want to spread this information about my family. I don't need it so much. Alright, let's start talking about the obvious. I want you guys to know a bit about my brother. Or at least what I know about my brother. I have mentioned my brother a few times before, but I've never gone into full details about who he is and what he's like. Actually, overall, I've never talked much about my own family in my videos. Lately, just me not having much to say other than this is my family. My brother's a lot older than me, by 11 years to be exact. He's a really nice person, very sociable, funny, and gets along with people. I remember when I was young, my parents were busy and couldn't get home one night, and the only person to comfort me was my brother. My brother's honestly much better at art than I am, and much better at music than I am. He teased me a lot as a kid, but that's just what siblings do. Other than that, my brother's also into many other things. Pokemon, anime, and crystals. My brother's liking crystals is why I acknowledged when I made this video. I remember when he had a huge collection of them in his room. Unfortunately, because of our age gap, we never got to spend most of our lives together. I hung out with him from time to time, and he spent many times with me and our friends. Those times were full of memories that I'm only realizing how long ago it was. But I really appreciate it. I felt like I got to connect with my brother again. But overall, my relationship with him has always felt so distant. Maybe I don't know enough about him. I've always wanted to hang out with him, but I never found time. For so long, I've been so worried about him. I texted him happy birthday the past 2 years, and whenever I saw him reply back, I felt relieved because I knew that he was okay. But I was so concerned about how long it would be. I really wish that I could talk more about what his life was like. But unfortunately, I can only do right now. I'm not entirely sure when everything started falling out for him. I remember when I was young, I would see him and our parents yelling at him and being very upset. I don't know why, but I was worried. Why was my brother constantly getting in trouble? My brother never sat down with me and talked about his life, and neither did my parents. They knew I was still too young to understand everything, which is why they kept everything hidden from me. According to my parents, they referred to my brother as the rebellious one. He was always out of the house doing probably any shenanigans that caused my parents to be upset. I can only think of one thing my brother did that really pushed my parents past their limit, and this time it was reasonable. I can only assume that this is what started it all. My brother fell into a drug addiction, and he couldn't stop himself. I didn't my parents could. Back then, when I first heard this detail, I was scared. I didn't want to look at my brother in this condition. I remember when he was home. He went upstairs and he saw me. He didn't even say hi. There have been other times when I was alone and my brother tried to get inside. I contemplated for a bit because I didn't want my brother to act strange when I was alone. Thinking about it now, I feel terrible for having to wait for him to let him in. I had this feeling that my brother wasn't stable enough to do anything. He couldn't get a job, he couldn't afford a house, and he had to spend time in rehab. Luckily, at some point, he was able to find an apartment, so the good news was he was able to have a roof under his head. My parents tried so hard to support him. They gave him money, food, and got to talk to him again. I do know at one point that he was making recovery and told me that he got a job. And at some point, my parents bought a condo for him to live in, so he had his own space. I felt relieved. I genuinely thought that my brother would be okay. I thought he'd be fine. But it didn't last long. It turns out my brother fell back into addiction and couldn't keep those things. He couldn't keep his job and he was eventually stable enough to keep that condo. What my parents did instead was move to that condo to live in because he didn't know what else to do with that place he bought him. He stayed there for about 2 years. And here's the fact. The condo that I'm talking about is actually the condo that I was in when I did my Facebook video. You knew about that place shortly after that day when I started university and he rented it to friends. But anyway, things really jumped back and forth. Things started getting worse and got better and now it got worse again. For the past 2 years, my brother went silent. I haven't heard any news about him all within that period, and I've never been able to talk to him. He never showed up at family gatherings and celebrations. I remember my dad was talking to my brother on the phone. My dad seemed angry. He said something along the lines of, "You really need to get better. You haven't been able to celebrate with us. How's it like spending 2 years alone?" I didn't know what to do. A few months ago, my parents got a phone call from the police asking them to talk to me. The police had been asking me if I'm okay or in good condition. It turns out that my brother may have reported to the police something about me, saying that I was held hostage, which isn't true. That didn't happen. I don't know what could have caused my brother to say that, but here's what I thought. I think my brother was hallucinating, imagining scenarios in his head that never happened. But my parents were more frustrated than concerned. They just presumed that he's ill and needs to recover. My worry for him grew more. On February 5, the police showed up to our house. Based on what happened last time, my parents thought just my brother making things up like before. When they entered our house, they asked me to step out of the room. They must have wanted to tell my parents what happened first. I didn't know what was going on. But suddenly, I heard my parents scream, cry. I wasn't expecting that reaction. I didn't know why they were crying, but there was one thing that I thought that caused them to react this way. I tried to listen to what the police were saying, and I heard them murmur the word funeral. That's when I knew. My mom eventually stepped into the room, and she told me that my brother passed away. And from that day on, I don't know if I'll ever be happy about myself. The one thing that I worried was going to happen finally did. Hearing something about this was the last thing I wanted to hear. I really didn't think it was going to be so excited. Slowly, we eventually started telling everyone about the news. And of course, we wanted to dedicate an important memorial for him. On February 19, we attended his funeral. I got to see his soulless body resting in his casket. That was something I was so afraid to see, but I knew I had to eventually. During the event, people got to say a few words on him and say a couple prayers. I, however, wanted to do something special. I remember a few years ago, I wanted to start playing the guitar more since I started learning in school. My brother gave me his guitar, and I decided to sing a song to remember him using his guitar that he gave me. The people really liked it, and I'm glad I could show my hands talent as a way of acknowledging my brother. I truly hope that my brother is much happier now, while he's just sleeping eternally or roaming around the clouds. And I hope that whenever anyone who experiences this in their life, it's alright to be sad. Death is inevitable and so sweet. And some things I'd like to make clear because I don't want anyone to think wrongly. I don't want anyone to think my brother was a criminal or a terrible person. He's not. He's the opposite of that. I also don't want anyone to think that his death was intentional. My brother was never hurt by anyone. He only never wanted this to happen, but couldn't stop himself. He was alone. He died alone. He was found in the bed of his apartment. And I don't actually know his cause of death. I presume it was likely from overdose, but don't count me on that because I'm not certain. Wherever my brother is now, I just want him to know that I'm okay, and I will try to keep moving forward. I hope one day I'll get to see him again, but I want to see him when I know my time is up.